Galala Yahweh, Bo Shuma Masak Yawasha, Shema Yasharala Yahweh Alahaya Nawakada Bamashbaka, Shalom. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Yeah, we have another sharp rebuke here. I know it's been some time since the last sharp rebuke was shared with everybody, but you already know how those come along. You know, anytime the Spirit tells me to sharply rebuke something, I rebuke it. So it's not a continuous mini series or anything like that to this ministry. It only comes through the Spirit, and when the Spirit tells me to do so. Sometimes it is continuous. Sometimes you do get 1, 2, 3, or 4 back-to-back sharp rebukes, but it's very rare. I think it's been almost a month since the last sharp rebuke. I don't keep count, but it's been a while. Now, this sharp rebuke is going to be focused on those who have not only a lack of understanding, but also a lack of faith when it comes to allowing Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai to act on your enemies and those who trouble you. You heard me correctly. It is a lack of faith and a lack of knowledge that resorts to people not understanding that you can actually have Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai act in your favor against your enemies and those who cause trouble in your life. And the Spirit wanted me to cover this because I already know there's a few individuals who found my update on Chud the Idumean a little wicked. Yeah, I already know. Those individuals who think as such, you lack understanding. You need to reconsider your relationship with the Most High. Because last time I checked, we have liberty to do so. And religion has a lot of you all watered down. And religion has you exactly where you want to be, or well, where they want you to be. Salah. Yeah, the constructs of religion have you exactly where they want you to be. If you are afraid to pray against your enemies and those that trouble you, you're afraid to pray curses against these wicked individuals. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Curses, because the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. Yeah, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. But y'all don't know that, though. Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know that. And I'm going to find it for us real quickly. Give me a second. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 33. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. So with that knowledge there, it is not a wicked thing to cast curses of Yahweh onto the wicked, to advocate such curses on the wicked. You're very unlearned and you've been maimed by religion if you think you don't have the authority to do so. I know many people, or a few people, I won't say many because YouTube kind of bottlenecked that same video that I put out regarding Chud the Idumean. Yeah, YouTube bottlenecked it. They bottlenecked the views. They restricted it. They shadow banned that video. And see, these platforms do such things to the prophets to try to play psychological warfare tactics on us, to try to get us to second guess ourselves and to try to lower our confidence as if we don't know what we're talking about. See, you're not getting a lot of views, so what you're saying is irrelevant. That's the games that they play. Okay, so you know that when you come across a channel of a preacher, of a teacher, and they got a decent following, but their views are low, you know that's what's going on. You know exactly that's what's going on. All right, and that's exactly what happened with that video I did on Chud the Idumean. But you know, without further ado, we're going to get into some further scriptures on this. I'm going to go back to Jeremiah 51 because that's where I wanted to start, but through the Spirit, Proverbs 3:33 popped up. No. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 51, starting at verse 20. You know what? We're going to start at verse 19. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Okay, so before we get to verse 20, the Most High shows who he's talking about when he makes this description here in verse 20, as it reads, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So Yasharella, we are instruments of warfare for Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. Now, with that being said, don't think carnally on this matter. Don't think that you're going to actually get out there and physically harm somebody. That's not what this is talking about. That's not what the Most High is talking about. We are instruments of his warfare against such wicked individuals. And how are we those instruments? Spiritually. Through spiritual power, we are weapons of warfare pertaining to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. Let's get further into it. Verse 21, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. So the Most High saying he'll act on our behalf, but we got to utilize that action. We have to be used as such weapons of warfare spiritually. And you do that through the Spirit. You do that through prayer. Mashpakah. You do that through prayer. See, a lot of y'all lack that faith and you don't understand your spiritual power. You don't understand that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is your power. You don't understand that because religion got a stronghold on y'all's mind to think that doing such a thing is wicked. As it was shown against Chud the Idumean. Yeah, 2 days after I prayed against that man, he got arrested and had all this other stuff happen to him. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that Jeremiah 51 verse 20 is irrelevant or that it's something wicked. And I'm pretty sure there were other brothers and sisters praying against that man as well. But from what the Most High showed me, he showed me 2 days after I consulted with him that he took action. Okay? 2 days. Y'all saw the video. And if you didn't see the video, go ahead and check the history. Go into the videos of this channel and see the one where it has Shud the Idumean on it. It got a whole lot of precepts with it too. But you got to do your due diligence and go to the scriptures yourselves. But the scriptures are all plastered throughout the video on the screen. That's a more interactive post there where you have to actually look up the verses that are being presented to you. And I did that on purpose. Read. Blessed is he who readeth, as the scriptures say. Verse 22. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. So again, this isn't a carnal matter. This is spiritually speaking. All right? You pray against these people and the Most High will take action. You pray against those who are causing wickedness in your life and troubling you, the Most High will take action. The curses of Yahweh will be in the house of the wicked. Proverbs 3:33. Verse 23. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. You don't understand the access you have. If you're being obedient to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments and having the faith of Yahweh Shah, you should understand this power. You should understand that you are actually an instrument of warfare spiritually. Verse 24. And with thee will I render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. So that's why the Nicolaitan doctrine puts so much emphasis on being docile and weak and unable to defend yourselves. Because the Nicolaitans know that they have a heavy judgment coming to them. So that's why they maimed you and made you docile with their doctrines to where you can't accept being able to pray curses against somebody in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Proverbs 3:33. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 33. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked. So activate those curses against the wicked. Oh, this sounds wicked. You working witchcraft. No, this isn't no witchcraft. This is the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. This is righteous power. This is righteous power to bring on the affliction of those who are wicked and who work wickedness against you. That's what this is. But Jesus said, okay, we're going to see what Yahweh Shah said. Not Caesar Borgia. Not Caesar Borgia. Because Caesar Borgia taught you how to be docile and weak. So that this power isn't used against such Nicolaitans. Yeah, that's what this is about. Let's go ahead and go to the words of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. We'll go none other than Matthew. Matthew 21. There we go. So consider this. We're going to Matthew 21, starting at verse 18. Now in the morning as he returned into the city, he hungered. Talking about Yahweh Shah. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon, but leaves only. And said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So was that not a curse that Yahweh Shah Mashiach did to this fig tree? Which is actually a living being, by the way. It was a plant. We know that plants are living. They're living organisms. We know that. So, furthermore, the context is here in verse 20. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is the fig tree withered away? Verse 21. Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, if ye have faith and doubt not, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. So let's stop right there. So you same individuals who think it's a wicked thing to use this same power against the wicked, you will try to correct the Messiah in his parable here. Oh, don't do that. You cause harm to the plant. You caused harm to the plant. That's how foolish some of y'all would be. And y'all would tell the Messiah that very same thing. Why'd you cause harm to the plant? Verse 22. And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. So this is a parable that Yahushua HaMashiach is showing us that we have power to be weapons spiritually against those that trouble us. Here it is. He was hungry. He went to a plant that's supposed to be producing fruit, and it had no fruit on it. Keep in mind, this is the son of Yahweh the Most High. This is the son of Yahweh Alahayim. He created that tree. He created everything in existence. He was the workman to do it under the instruction of the Most High in the very beginning. And this tree had the audacity not to have any fruit to nourish the son. So at that moment, it troubled Yahushua, and he spoke the curse against it, and it withered away immediately. And he used that as a parable to the disciples and to everybody else who is blessed enough to be exposed to this breakdown, to be exposed to this knowledge that you can do the same thing in prayer, believing, having faith, and doubting not. Verse 22, it says again, and all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. So you can move mountains and you can defeat your enemies through prayer. You can move mountains, challenges, obstacles, opposition. Yeah, because that's what mountains represent here. Opposition, hardship, obstacles, hindrances. Be thou removed and cast into the sea. That is a prayer against such opposition, such trouble, such challenges. Let's get some more breakdown here. Let's go to Romans. Verse 18. We're going to start at verse 18. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So here, Aksha'al is telling us, hey, maintain the peace with all your strength. If it be possible, if you have an opportunity to maintain peace amongst, the children of the world, do so. It doesn't mean, oh, I have this power, so I'm going to talk all this noise and I'm going to be rah, rah, rah and charge up and check everybody that causes me issues. No, be diplomatic. Be diplomatic. If there's no reason for you to cause harm to anybody, if you don't have to defend yourself, right? Right? If you don't have to defend yourself, or if you don't have to morally defend yourself, right? Through a verbal defense, then keep the peace. Furthermore, context added here in verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahweh. Excuse me. So how do you give place to wrath? You pray. You pray against them that are causing you to be wrathful. You tell the Father and the Son on these people, and he will handle them accordingly, how he sees fit. See, everybody who's seen that post on Chud the Idumean, that video on Chud the Idumean, and you thought otherwise, you thought it was a wicked thing, you lack understanding and you lack faith. And this sharp rebuke is for you. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians, no, Salakia, 2 Thessalonians. Verse 6. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Yeah, precept upon precept, line upon line. It's been fully explained. We are the weapons of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah's warfare, and all we have to do is tell them on these individuals and condemn them accordingly. Yeah, I said it right. Condemn them accordingly. Man, say less. I already know what you're thinking. Condemn, oh, that's harsh. Oh, well, if you can't do that, you don't have the heritage of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah in your favor. Yeah. Look, we're getting it here. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Everybody knows that, but you leave it right there. Especially in the Nicolaitan doctrine. Y'all love to quote that. Y'all love to quote that, but then you take away from the full verse. And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. So when you have a tongue rising against you in judgment, isn't that opposition? Isn't that tribulation? Isn't that them giving you trouble? Resorting back to Salakia, resorting back to Romans 12:19, which we just read. Every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. So this is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. So basically, you're saying it's a wicked thing to do so, right? All you unlearned religious folk. You're saying it's a wicked thing to do so. It's a harsh thing to do so. No, you're fooled by religion, and you've been maimed. You've been spiritually maimed. And they have you exactly where they want you. Maimed, defenseless. Prolonging their safe haven from judgment that they should be receiving. So all you all who are thinking the opposite of what these scriptures have shown us, you don't have that heritage. That heritage isn't given to you. You're not a servant of Yahweh. You're not a servant of the Lord. And your righteousness is of your own. It's not of him. As he says here, hey, Isaiah 54:17, this is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. So your righteousness is of your own righteousness. Your righteousness is of the righteousness of men and their doctrine of religion.